Yeah, it's been good. As Adam said, he's the only one who set up training thus far, but we've had some really good trainings. I thought yesterday was one of our better trainings of the year for us to be at this end of the year, and some guys may or may not be checking out. I thought it was fantastic for them to come in and practice the way they did.
The form of the team in recent weeks, have you been pretty happy with how they've been playing?
I am. I thought it was, now that Adam's back, I thought it gave us an opportunity to play without him for a while, and some different guys step up, and we get to try some different things without really hurting us in our positioning on the ladder. And but now he's back, it's great, and we still have those other guys with the confidences that they gained.
It's been a really good story to see Adelaide rise up the ranks. Can you just talk a bit about that journey and what you had to put in place to get the team to where it is now?
Yeah, when I took over the position, it was it was contract issues. It was a mentality that wasn't present. It was just a way of doing things that wasn't consistent with winning. So the change, going there, have to change a lot of things, not just coaching. The coaching part was probably the easiest part of it all. To go in and change the other philosophies and things were a bit difficult at first, and actually, to be honest with you, a bit troublesome. But we got through those, and we were able to get to the court and just get down to playing basketball, and that part was easy.
Was there a moment where it kind of clicked, where you thought this team is destined for something pretty good?
Yeah, probably a couple weeks before preseason tournament, I looked around at what we had and seen some guys like Luke Schincher, who I didn't think I'd get much out of this year, coming and really giving us something. Guys like Mitch Creek, which I hadn't counted on at all, have given me anything this year, really starting to step forward. And at that point, I started thinking that we could make a run at it.
Yeah, I guess the Wildcats fans are pretty hostile, and some say feral. What reception are you expecting, given that you were, regardless of what happened, but given that you were amongst it, you expect much attention?
This is the good thing or the bad thing about it. They can't say anything worse than they say on a regular game, on a regular night at the beginning of the year. So I expect them to do exactly what they've been doing for the last 10 years I've been coming down here. If they can do anything more, they probably have to use a weapon. But they're loud, they're boisterous. I think that's and people that are involved in the sport, we actually like that. I mean, atmosphere is why we do it. I mean, if it was a dead gym and there was only 1,500 people in there and they only clapped when they were supposed to and they never said anything funny or yelling or mean, we wouldn't do it. I mean, we live for this stuff. We live for that. I mean, like Adam said, to play in front of 13,000 people, to coach in front of 13,000 people that are making noise, that are passionate about what you're passionate about, that's just great.
So you thrive on it, it squad the team up, backing down at all from it, you thrive on it and enjoy playing in that atmosphere.
You got to. We wouldn't be here now if we didn't, and the Wildcats wouldn't be here now if we didn't. It's teams that didn't thrive on it this year that faltered. But you gotta embrace it, and you gotta see it as motivation and encouragement. Noise is noise to an athlete. It's hard to decipher which one when you're out there playing.
Trevor, can I ask James Ennis, obviously a bit of the awards night and stuff, but regardless of how he wasn't happy, I guess, but have you had to talk to him about blocking that out and focusing on the grand final now?
I think it was more media beat up than anything. I entered the hotel the same time as James after the awards, and we were fine. And the next morning we're on the same flight, and everything is fine. So it hasn't been an issue at all. I think it's just more of a build-up in the media. The story got out that is it true or false? Who knows? But we certainly moved on the next day.
So he's mentally fine. He's focused now.
Has been great at practice all week. He's high energy. He can't wait for this opportunity, and he's a big part of our success this year. And what he gives to the team is just not on the scorecard. It's his ability to use his arms, stealing, his rebounding ability, get out in the open court, and he loves doing that. And when he does that, we're a better team.
Do you feel he was under any pressure, I guess, going back to the States and to Miami to walk it back into the club and say, I'm the MVP? Was he under any pressure?
That's probably a good question for him. I can't answer that to what thoughts are in James's head, but all I know is that he's totally locked in. We've had a great preparation this week. The guys are, probably think it's Christmas coming up here shortly, the excitement at training, and really can't wait for tomorrow night.
The matchups all over the court, where do you think it'll be on?
Yeah, a number of places. Adelaide are a great offensive team. They've done that all year, the number one scoring team in the league, and the way they rebound with their 7-footers, and they've got, 4 guards that are fantastic. So we're under no illusion how good they are, and it's really going to test out our defence. I thought our defence in the last series is the best that we've played. To stop Wollongong in their home court, was outstanding, and hopefully we can carry that on to tomorrow night.
So has that been a big focus, defence, and keeping it high intensity for the full 40?
Yeah, well, that's been our philosophy all year. So it's been our backbone of the team. We haven't gone out and blown teams out, although we have that ability. It's more of a lock teams down and get that mental edge on them and making sure they're pushing uphill. And that's what we've done all year, and we won't deviate from what we've done all year.
All of you guys fit and healthy?
Yeah, Damo hit it on the head. As soon as we locked up the front position, we were able to rest him a little bit, and we were mindful of what's happened with him the last 2 years. And he's very humble when he talks, but he really wasn't in that grand final series last year. And we certainly wanted him. He's a big part of our team. He's our captain, and we wanted to rest him up for these games.
With the high expectations also comes a lot of pressure. How do you think the player group has dealt with that throughout the year and now also heading into the grand finals?
Yeah, we really got that early in pre-season when Matty Knight went down. We really didn't know have a big centrepiece like that to empty that hole, and we had players step up every time that something's happened, injury or step up. The players have done that, and Tommy's been outstanding, Jesse's been outstanding, and you get that as a coach. You find out what your team's made when you go through that adversity.
You've seen a lot of NBL teams throughout your time. Where does the depth rank in Wildcats compared to some of the other sides that you've seen?
Probably not as deep as some of the teams I've coached, but the quality in the front lines is way up there. With James and Jermaine, they're quality players that make us better. They don't have to score any points to make us better. And I never had a player in Damo's can influence a game with not scoring a point. I've never seen a guy be able to do that, and he takes personal pride in it, and it translates to the rest of the team.
Joey, just on the relationship between the two clubs, I mean, as I've mentioned before, fans probably think back to that game a couple of months ago, but then seeing you guys walk in and give each other a hug, it still seems happy and friendly.
Well, ironically, I think I know the way Trevor feels. We have a great relationship with each other. Ironically, we were the two coaches not coaching last year. I think which is a huge storyline to focus on, other than what happened on the court. Trevor lived with me for a while in the States, or came and stayed with me for a while in the States when he embarked on his coaching career. We spoke on the phone, did a seminar together last year. During the off season, there's so many great storylines that are involved with these two teams. That other than that incident on the court, Adam and Damo go against each other in the Boomers camp for the last spot, usually every year. It's just some great storylines out there. Just found out today, me and Tatalovich are from the same hometown area. Did you know that?
Indiana?
Yeah.
I didn't know your hometown. No.
Yeah. That surprised me. My hometown newspaper called me about that. It's just some wonderful storylines that are involved. Like Adam said, looking back in that video is a joke. If that happened on the football field, nobody would even pay attention. Nobody got hit. It was just a bunch of yelling. And it's just, it's funny. But you know what? It's got us both here. We got a bunch of fans going to show up at our place, a bunch of fans going to show here. I think it's just outstanding for basketball. And just wish we could have this type of hype all year long and caring about what we do, because we really care about what we do, and we just want other people to care about it too.
How close are you guys, and what's it like coaching against each other in such a massive series?
It's a professional distance, although I don't talk to Trevor much during the season, out of respect, because I don't want him angling me, and I don't want him to think I'm angling him. But off season, if it's if it's a player I know Trevor knows something about, and I go, hey, you coached this guy back in the States. What do you think of him or whatever? What's the deal with him? You know, he'll give me a straight answer. If we see each other in a coffee shop, we're definitely going to sit down with each other. If we're at the NBA Summer League together, we're probably going to sit together. I know he creates a little more distance than me during the season, but that's okay. I know where he's coming from.
And Trevor, just can you speak a bit about your journey and the times that your paths have crossed over the US?
Yeah, we've known each other for a long time, you know, and we're probably much better friends, not in competing in the season. Like I said, we don't really talk, but off season we always catch up with each other. And we ran a clinic last year, and Joey's the first guy that rang up to come over and do it. And you know, we always feel each other out. Contract time, what are you getting? What are you getting? And look, he's like I said, I stayed with Joey for 3 months or so down in Texas with him, and it's a long time relationship. But as soon as the ball gets thrown up, he's the enemy, and that's the way he treats it. That's the way I treat it. And at the end of the game, we'll shake hands and probably go and have a beer. But until that, it's business as usual.
What year was that when you stayed?
Year 2000, I think it was.
Time ago,
Yeah, I think it was 2000. Yeah.
And any annoying habits that any of you guys have?
Oh, plenty. Yeah,
was
that's
annoying.
another time.
Yeah, at the time, he was a host of our neighborhood because it's an Australian dude living in the neighborhood.
That's all right too. Actually, Halloween party. I remember that.
He claimed it was Crocodile Dundee at the Halloween party.
Nice and original. But,
Did you have to get him out of trouble at all? Or?
Nah, he was. You know, the great thing about Trevor, he came over and Trevor wanted to come over and just get involved in coaching and meet people. And Trevor's the type of guy, introduced him to somebody once, and you know the coaches from UT are calling me, when's Trevor coming to training? You know, where is he at? You know, and he hopped in the car on the other side of the road and drove and got his way around, and he met coaches, and he, you know, within a couple of weeks he has already forged kind of relationships with the coaching staffs on UT and other coaching places there, and that's what got him going.
It does build that, you know, motivation to get back and try and bounce back the following season. But now that I've lost 2 in a row and be here for a third one, you know, we're just excited to get out there and finally stand up on the podium and hopefully be collecting the championship trophy and not runners up.
What have you learned from the past 2 grand final series, and what have you done to rectify that in your preparation, mentally, anything like that?
I think it's a lot of small things, and overall you need a bit of luck to win a championship. You know, both teams are going in fully fit, and I think, you know, being healthy, being switched on mentally, and applying the game plan are the 3 key areas to winning a championship. And right now, you know, we're fit, we're healthy, we're mentally ready. Just a matter of going out tomorrow night, executing the game plan, and we'll be happy with it.
Is there more hunger in the group this year after with those 5 core guys after a couple of disappointments the last 2 years?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can still feel that pain and how upset we were having to sit there and watch New Zealand collect the championship trophy the last 2 years in a row. And that's not a feeling that's easily forgotten. So it's the last thing we want to feel, you know, in 7 to 10 days. And it's a huge motivating factor because, you know, the highs and lows of either winning a championship or losing, you know, I've been on both ends and I know which side I want to be on, hopefully in a week's time.
Do you guys talk about that at all, or is it just sort of lingering in the back of the mind forever?
This time of year, we're not speaking about it. I mean, we know how much excitement there is, and we're trying to focus on ourselves more so than anything. And everybody plays the game to win a championship, so it doesn't matter what level it's at. Doesn't matter if you've lost one before or not. So the 5 guys that weren't a part of the team last year, they're just as hungry to win it as the guys that have sat and been runners-up.
Adam, could you ask for a better performance in Game 3 of the semis, given Gary wasn't playing and he just completely dominated?
Yeah, probably not. I mean, it was a little unexpected. I mean, I always felt like we were going to win the game even without Gary there because, you know, we've done it when players have been missing before the whole year, but to come out and win by nearly 40 points in a semi-final decider is massive. You know, we played a great team game and come away with a massive win. Our defence is some of the best we've played all year, so yeah, it was a little bit of a shock to win by that much, but yeah, no, it's pretty exciting.
Can you talk about Perth Arena? I mean, they're going to have in excess of 13,000 people screaming their heads off over there. How daunting is it?
Yeah, I mean, Perth do a great job of having almost a full stadium every time I've come here, you know, since they opened that place up last year. So, The crowd, we don't really, I guess, focus on that or notice that too much. Once a ball goes up, it's just all between the white lines. So, no doubt, even though it's a Monday night game, that place will be pumping and filled up. And what better atmosphere to play in front of than 12 or 13,000 people? You can't ask for much more as an athlete.
When everyone thinks of the Wildcats and Adelaide, they're all going to think back to that game. It was post-match niggle and whatnot. Do you expect a pretty fiery encounter tonight?
Nah, not at all. I mean, I look back at that and kind of laugh because I didn't think there was much in it. I mean, a little bit of a push and shove, but there's been a few things throughout the year that have kind of, I guess, built up this game to what it is. I mean, Perth and Adelaide have always had a great rivalry, and I expect this final series to be no different. It'll be fiery, should be hopefully high scoring, and yeah, let the best team win.
Pretty good matchups all over the court. Where's it going to be one?
Yeah, it is, without a doubt. I mean, we do match up pretty well against each other. Real even matchups. It's hard to say where it'll be won and lost. I guess whoever makes the most shots, on each given night. Some great players on both teams, and yeah, I guess it's just whoever stands up on the night.
How do you feel going into games against backcourts like Damian and Gibson?
It's exciting. I think both teams have two of the best backcourts in the league, and it's been said all year. So you want to play against the best to win, and we expect it's going to be a tough encounter. Damo, he won best defensive player, so it's not going to be an easy thing. But if it's meant to be, we'll make it happen.
Confidence levels for Adelaide, where are they at the moment in your own performance?
Yeah, they're high, especially coming off that last semi-final game. Just the way we played as a team, everyone scored the ball. The defence was incredible, so we're coming in on a high. That's pretty much it.
What would it mean to the club if you could win the championship this year?
I'll be massive. I mean, Titletown back in the day, I don't really remember it because I was pretty young back then, but it'd be massive. I mean, it's obviously been pretty tough for Adelaide the last few years. I mean, last year, we finished last, and to be where we are now, it's been a great effort. But Adelaide get right behind their teams, and we've had great crowds, and I think it's been 12 years since our last grand final appearance. So everyone's behind us, and it'd be massive if we could get it done for them.
Why has it been such a quick rise up the ranks from last season to now?
Obviously, a few changes. Coaching personnel, a few players have come in. We didn't have a bad year last year. We just couldn't finish off games. 7 or 8 games we lost by a few points. So we've included a few players that can finish off games, and I think that's really the difference. But just some personnel changes, a mindset change, and I guess a game style change that now suits the players that we have, and it's a fun way to play. And I guess that's why we're here now.
And Damian, Wildcats are a proud club and going for their 6th title. What would it mean if you could do that this year after the 2010 trial?
Oh, it's huge. I was fortunate enough that was my first season with the Wildcats to come here in first year and we win a championship, and then we've just been so close ever since. So, it's one thing to make the finals, but you go to a new level as, in going down in history if you can actually win the thing. No one really remembers second place, so even though I've played in a few grand finals, it doesn't mean anything unless you actually start winning those things.
Damo, how's your excitement levels after missing out last year's grand finals?
Yeah, I got through this morning's training, so I get to actually run out tomorrow fit and healthy. So after missing the whole series last year, that was so painful and tough to watch from the sidelines. And then the year before I got injured first play of game 2. So it'll be nice to hopefully see through a whole series and be with the boys out on the court and either celebrate the victories of the highs of a win or go down with them, but being a part of it on the court with them.
And how's your fitness levels now? Are you feeling pretty good?
Yeah, I do. I feel great. The last few weeks in particular, since we locked up the minor premiership, we've been able to back off a little bit at training, and those guys that needed a day off, actually it's just me, I think, took a couple here and there, but it's all about the bigger picture, and that's coming out and trying to win a grand final series, and you have to be fit if you're going to keep up with the Adelaide 36ers who are so good in transition.
And Adam, what about your fitness levels and injury-wise? How's it feeling?
Yeah, it feels good. Same thing. I think I was probably the only one that took days off at our trainings as well, but it feels fine. We've got a week and a half to get through. So yeah, I've had no dramas. The doctors have been great with helping me out and all that. But yeah, it's given me no trouble. So.
What do you have to do to get up for games? Do you need injections?
Nah, nothing really. I mean, a little anti-inflam here and there is pretty much all I take. Just a bit of tape, but yeah, surprisingly it's been fine. It hasn't given me any grief, and yeah, I've been able to get through games really well. So surprised, but yeah, I'm definitely happy how it's come up.